Hi everybody, welcome back to Karen Puzzles. Today we're going to be doing a Murder, She Wrote mystery jigsaw puzzle from 1984, which is 6 years before I was born. So I was browsing eBay for some other type of puzzle. I don't even remember now, but this popped up and my mom would always be watching Murder, She Wrote on TV when I was a kid. She has seen every episode multiple times. So when I saw that they had made Murder, She Wrote mystery puzzles, I had to order one. My apologies to whoever it was that I was bidding against on eBay to get this. I ended up winning, so sorry about that. So here's how this works. When you open up the box, there is a little booklet, and I'll show you the story inside once I get into it. But there's basically a story inside of a mystery, just kind of setting up a scenario where Jessica Fletcher comes across yet another murder. Just an aside, I fully buy into the conspiracy theory that Jessica Fletcher was the actual murderer, because how can a town that is that small have so many murders? Anyway, they give you a little story that you read, and then the picture that is on the puzzle is not what's here on the front of the box. It is a complete mystery going in. I have no idea what the puzzle itself is going to look like, but once you solve the puzzle, then that should give you the answer to the mystery, and then on the last page of the booklet, they give you the answer so you can see if you were right. This is 550 pieces, so hopefully it's not going to take me too long, but we'll see how it goes. So let me show you the booklet, tell you the story, and then we'll get into the puzzle. So here's what the box looks like. As I said, it's from the 80s, so I love how old school and vintage it looks. And they actually made a bunch of these. This recipe for murder one is just the cheapest one that I found on eBay. So here's a quick look at what the sides of the box looks like, and there's nothing on the back. So if we open it up, we have the booklet and the pieces, and that's it. So Jessica Fletcher has 2 hours to kill until her connecting flight, so she decides to leave the airport to go get lunch. What? Why would you leave? That's not enough time. Anyway, her cab driver recommends a place for lunch, and on the way, he is a mega chatty Kathy because he gives her the dirt on the restaurant owner and the 3 people who want to kill him. This is a way more intense conversation than I have ever had with my Lyft drivers. So, of course, when she shows up at the restaurant, the owner has been murdered. Oh no, what a surprise! And she just wanders around an active crime scene with nobody, maybe asking her to get out of there, to let them do their jobs. So anyway, here are the 3 suspects who, of course, are all at the crime scene. Mary Bird, the estranged wife who wants out of the marriage. Franklin White, a restaurant critic who keeps giving him bad reviews. And Arnie Fallon, the partner who's losing money on the restaurant. Basically, they all accuse each other. The police float the theory that he was poisoned. And then Jessica decides to stick her nose into, let me repeat, an active murder investigation. And she asks to disassemble the food processor because apparently, after 5 minutes of eavesdropping, she can prove that it was a suicide. Mary offers her a nail file, Franklin offers a dime, and Fallon offers a pocket knife to open the food processor. But wait, oh my god, she never thought it was a suicide after all, and she knows who the murderer is. Twists, turns, the drama of it all. Anyway, now that we know what the mystery is, let's look at the puzzle pieces. They feel pretty solid, and they're a bit larger than I expected. They're pretty shiny, and the cardboard is a good thickness. Not super high quality, but it's fine. There aren't any crazy shapes in there, and these three are actually the only piece shapes that I saw. So with a puzzle like this, where I don't know what the picture looks like, I like to first sort out all of the edge pieces and turn over all of the inside pieces. Without knowing what colors or textures there are a lot of, it's not really worth sorting the inside pieces until you can see what you're working with. So at only 550 pieces, the sorting only took me 8.5 minutes. After that, I put together the edge, which was pretty easy since there were a bunch of different colors and textures to work with. Luckily, it was easy to tell if a piece was right or wrong. I never had issues with pieces fitting where they didn't go, so the edge only took me about 8 minutes. So I just finished doing the edge on the Murder, She Wrote puzzle, and let me show you what we've got. So there's the edge. I have not solved the mystery yet, but it looks like we've got maybe a recipe card here. This might be some kind of tile, like countertop. It looks like we have a bowl of something right here. I think this, actually, the way that the shadow is on this piece, I think the whole thing might have to flip around this way. Oh no, don't fall off the edge. All right, so I think that's the orientation that we've got. So if we look at the pieces, I didn't sort anything yet because I don't really know what we're working with, but just taking a brief look, it looks like we have, a bunch of blue pieces, which I'll definitely pull out. It looks like we have some writing, which is probably the recipe card. And then, yeah, just a lot of wood. It looks like some other random textures. Not sure what those are quite yet, but I feel like the recipe card is going to be the thing that's going to solve this murder. So when it came time to work on the inside of the puzzle, I started with the recipe card because that seemed like a big clue. And I also pulled out all of the blue pieces, and I pulled out all of the tile, just to have them all in place, even though I didn't put those pieces together until the end. So here's where I'm at. You can see that I put together the recipe card, and I feel like we're gonna have to compare what's on the card to all of these ingredients that are gonna be scattered around. So you can see that we have some milk, we have some tablespoons, it looks like that might be a jug of milk or maybe cream. We have fish, and we have tomato paste. Oh, and baking powder, and is that also cream? Oh wait, do these go together? Oh my god, you're seeing it live. So I have not solved the mystery yet, but I think I'm on the right track. I'm having so much fun with this. I love mystery puzzles and not knowing what you're gonna get and just having to use the clues that are on each piece to piece the whole thing together. I think it is so fun. This puzzle was so fun because I had no idea what I was looking at until I managed to get the different sections in place. Luckily, there were a lot of food labels and different items to break up the pieces, so it was relatively easy to just put each section together and then use the edges of the pieces to figure out what went where. So putting the puzzle together was easy. It only took me about an hour and 15 minutes, but as you'll see soon, studying it to figure out the answer to the mystery was a little harder. So here's where I'm at now. I feel like I could probably solve the mystery now because literally all that's left are the tiles in the back, which probably don't, they're probably not a part of the story, but just for completion's sake, I'm gonna finish it up and then I'm gonna study the picture and then I'm gonna put on my Jessica Fletcher hat and I'm gonna solve the mystery. So the tiles were definitely the hardest part of this puzzle and not totally necessary to solve the mystery, but I finished it anyway. I had a great time doing this puzzle, and I'm glad that all of the pieces were there since I bought it secondhand and it's over 30 years old, so I would not have been surprised if a piece or two went missing. Although for this type of puzzle, it might make solving the mystery a little harder, so yeah, I'm really glad all the pieces were there. The pieces don't lie totally flat, but since it is so old, I think we can forgive that. So before I get to the solution, if you want to try to solve the mystery for yourself, I put high quality images of the story booklet and the finished puzzle down in the description. So go ahead and pause this video, take a look at those, and then come back to hear me solve the mystery. So I finished the puzzle. Now it is time to solve the mystery. I just kind of skimmed this morning, so I'll have to go back over all the clues and look at what's on the puzzle and see what I can figure out. I hope it doesn't require too much cooking knowledge because I'm not a good cook. Okay, so Jessica is looking in the bottom of the food processor, which is right here, and it looks like it's filled with those peaches? Can't really tell. Oh yeah, here we go, 5 medium-sized unpitted peaches. So it looks like there are 5 in there. So Mary has a nail file because they're trying to open up the food processor. And then Franklin has a dime and Fallon has a pocket knife. So maybe the pocket knife is used to open this tomato paste. Wait, what is he making? This is actually kind of difficult. Okay, 2 cloves of garlic. It looks like those have been unpeeled and those are in the dish. 1 teaspoon of evaporated milk. It looks like that has been poured in, tablespoon, no, teaspoon? Either way. A small can of tomato sauce has been opened and is in the dish. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda, oh, this is baking powder, and the recipe says baking soda. Oh my God, did I solve it? I don't know what that means. So maybe is it that like somebody who's not a cook would use baking powder and not baking soda? And so it wasn't this guy who was cooking at all, it was somebody who set the scene to make it look like he was cooking. But why do we need to see the food processor? What does that have? Or was that just to figure out who had a pocket knife? All right, my guess is that the murderer is Fallon because whoever made this scene pulled out baking powder and not baking soda. And he's the one who had a pocket knife so he could open the tomato paste. I'm just gonna go ahead and read the answer. I've been filming for too long. Oh, okay, so the solution is backwards. So let me take a photo and then flip it around on my phone, and then I'll be able to read it. Oh, so there was poison. Okay, coffee maker's still on. I don't drink coffee. How would I know that the coffee maker was still on? Okay, so you do have to know about cooking. The recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic, but 2 full heads of garlic have been used. I remember one time I was cooking and I literally Googled how much a garlic clove was, because I didn't know if it was the little section of garlic or if that was different from the head. Oh, the recipe, okay. So like everything that I doubted myself for because I'm not a cook, the recipe calls for a TSP of evaporated milk, which stands for teaspoon, but a tablespoon has been used. I noticed that, but I like second guessed myself. And only someone totally familiar with what goes on in a kitchen would put whole unpitted peaches into a food processor. I didn't even catch that. That's totally something I would do. Add that to the tomato paste used instead of tomato sauce. Oh, I didn't even catch that. And baking powder used in place of baking soda. Okay, that one I caught. And it becomes obvious our villain was no gourmet. What? What? Who knows that? The The most damning evidence is in this can of evaporated milk. If the regular can opener hanging above the table had been used, can we even see that? That's not in the picture. Then the can would have 2 triangular holes, but it doesn't. It has 1 thin slit. The type of slit that would be made by a can opener found on a knife, like the one owned by you, Mr. Fallon. I suppose you've learned your lesson now? Don't try to cook up a murder scheme if you're not familiar with the ingredients. Okay, so I did get it right, and I was like along the right lines to get there, but considering I'm not a cook, I missed most of the clues. But you know what? That's fine. I still really liked putting together the puzzle. It was so fun. I love doing a mystery puzzle where you don't know what's coming next. So I would love to know if you looked at the picture and tried to solve the mystery along with me. Did you solve it? Have you ever done a mystery puzzle like this before? Have you ever seen Murder, She Wrote? Do you love it? I don't know what I'm saying. This is what happens when I don't script a video and I just talk. But anyway, your code word, if you watched all the way to the end, will be recipe. Don't forget to subscribe for more puzzle videos from me every week, and I'll see you all next time.